Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to Spicy Sunflower Tarot. This is going to be your February reading for 2026. And I just want to make an announcement that I guess the year of the horse, according to the experts, doesn't actually begin until like February 17th. So sounds like January and that first part of February is kind of like prep for the actual official new year, the year of the horse that will move us forward through the rest of 2026. So the year of the horse, all about fast, all about rapid, all about move on your goals and let's get up and go. That also just prompted me to bring out all of my animal related tarot cards, and mostly it's cats, but this Lisa Parker deck is Tarot Familiars. It's got quite a few different animals in it too. So I'm going to set that off to the side. I'm going to choose this cat tarot here, this main purple deck. This is Cats Rule the Earth. That's going to set off to the side for now. And I'm going to grab this cat tarot card deck and use that as your main spread energy. So while I shuffle, I just want you to be tuning in, thinking about February 2026 for you. Let's get your highest and best good for all concerned. I can't possibly read for every Capricorn on the planet, but if this is your reading, you'll know, you'll resonate, it'll feel right to you. So Capricorn, that can be your sun, your moon, your rising sign. You might come to Capricorn's reading because, oh gosh, hold on, I just had a major, oh dear, hold on a second. I'm going to get all these cards picked back up in a jiffy. Give me just a moment. And Capricorn, I just want to say though, if Capricorn is your sun, that's going to be your personality. If Capricorn is your rising, that's going to be your real self. That's who you show the world. And Capricorn as your moon sign, that's going to be your emotional side. So that's a really good piece of information to hold as you come to any tarot card reading, because you can look at readings based on sun, moon, or rising. And that might mean you watch all three, or you watch bits and pieces of all three. So that's going to be the main part of the information, but just tuning into your highest and truest self as I reshuffle these cards. Give me just a second. And we're going to reshuffle for Capricorn. I wonder if something is really going on in your life to uproot and upend all the cards like that. I wonder if there's just been a major surprise or a big shuffle going on in your life. Like, has a lot of things changed? Is a lot of things going on? I'm not sure. That is very interesting. I'm going to reshuffle for you. And we're going to go back to saying, go ahead and tune into your highest and truest forms of love and light. And let's get the truth. Let's get the facts. Let's get everything that Capricorn needs to know for the month of February. I'm going to do a traditional Celtic cross spread, and that's going to mean I'm going to have a few cards open and then a few cards down. And let's split this 3 ways. Only the highest and purest forms of love and light for Capricorn. Let's clear out anything that no longer needs to be here for your highest and best good. And let's first talk about the energy of the recent past. As February opens and January has come to an end, what is the energy from the recent past for Capricorn? A major influencing factor for Capricorn from their recent past. We've got 2 of Wands, and this is all about it's a choice. Anytime we have a 2, we've got a deliberation process between one thing and another. So this is all about a choice between, do you want to stay in your comfort zone, Or do you want to go out into the wild, wild west, essentially? So it is a controversial, are you going to stay where you've got food, water, shelter, friends, family, etc.? Or are you going to go out and explore the unknown, what you don't know, you don't have your finger on the pulse of just yet? This is your recent past. So there could have been this fiery energy in you, and you're an earth sign. You're a very grounded, centered, logical, stable person, more than likely. And this energy could have had you feeling a little, I don't know, scattered, indecisive of, oh my gosh, do I want to stay right here in my cushy job, in my cozy house with my family and everybody? Or do I want to go and take that leap of faith and go out into the wild unknown? So you were at this like fork in the road, it kind of seems like. And with that in mind, what is your current, right now, present day energy as February opens up? For the sign of Capricorn, the present day current energy for you. What is going on? You have the 5 of Swords. This is like angry, arguing, dispute, controversy, change, challenges. And it has to do with like usually verbal, but it can be email onslaught. It can be people coming against you. I mean, if we look at the card, this represents Capricorn, and this represents people turning their back on Capricorn, turning their back on the way that you think. They don't agree with you. Whatever your viewpoint is, whatever your perspective is, you have people coming against you. You've got people who don't agree with you, people who are confrontational possibly. 5 of Swords is like arguments and verbal disputes, and your downstairs neighbor constantly coming upstairs and telling you you're making too much noise, and people coming at you, getting on your nerves. This is sword energy, so this is very cerebral. This is very much the way that we're thinking about things, and it's controversial, essentially, dispute-like. What's challenging that for Capricorn? Capricorn, what is challenging the 5 of Swords for you? In other words, where there's controversy, challenge, dispute, fighting, what is, either stopping that or making it worse, however we determine. The Queen of Pentacles, which makes a lot of sense, because I think Capricorn, more than likely, you're someone who doesn't like drama. You're someone who doesn't like confrontation. You're someone who I don't think you really care for air energy, verbal disputes, mind games, all of that jazz. And so all you really want is stability. Queen of Pentacles, that's the court card, the feminine energy court card, the match to the King of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles, the more feminine, receiving of the cards. She or he, doesn't have to be a female, but it's the feminine energy of the sign of Pentacles, is a caretaker, is a nurturer, is mothering energy, is making sure that everybody's been fed. Do you have enough money for rent this month? Did you pay your tax bill? Did you A, B, and C? The Queen of Pentacles is going to take care of everybody. Their mother hen energy, their mother nature energy, very grounded, stable, solid, secure. They've got money in the bank. They've got food on the table, food in the fridge, a food storage system. They are like somebody who is stockpiled and prepared for things. And you can already just see how this would challenge this 5 of Swords energy. There's arguing, bickering, back and forth, who's right, who's wrong, blah, blah, blah. Childish, immature energy, in my opinion, 5 of Swords. Queen of Pentacles automatically challenges that, because when Queen of Pentacles steps in the room, I believe everybody shuts up. I believe everybody goes in their own corners and they're quiet and they keep to themselves. The Queen of Pentacles has authority. The Queen of Pentacles has domain. They rule quietly, but definitely you can feel their energy. They're very secure, they're very solid, they're very stable, which just flies in the face of energy like this. So automatically makes a lot of sense why it would be in the challenge position for that current present day energy. What's on your mind, Capricorn? What's going on in your mind? What are you thinking about a lot? What are you contemplating? What are you trying to figure out? What's going on in your mind? The Two of Pentacles, and this is the energy of, again, like the Two of Wands, anytime we have a two, there's deliberation. The Two of Pentacles is prioritization of the physical world, physical reality. So it's my priority is going to be on my house, on my car, on my physical property, or it's going to be at work. Constantly thinking about work and how I can make improvements and how I can do A, B, and C. So the Two of Pentacles is a juggling act. And the Two of Pentacles, for you, you're thinking about where your priorities really belong. Do they belong with your family, or do they belong at work? Do they belong with your spouse, or do they belong with your kids? You know, there is definitely a deliberation of prioritization, and that's on your mind. That's what you're thinking about, is where do I put my energy? Is it going to go A or B? And that's a deliberation. So it seems like automatically, as we open up this reading for February, there's going to be some choices, some decisions. You're either going to go one way or the other, and there's going to be a lot to think about. So what's in the bottom? Like, what's hidden? You might not be showing this to the world. It might not be available for you to even know about. It's hidden. It's under the surface. The Hanged Man. And this is a major arcana for the sign of Pisces. So you could be dealing with a Pisces in your life, or this is just your energy. Like I said, I think that you're hiding. I think that you're keeping under wraps anyway, not like a mysterious, deceptive hiding, but just it's under the surface and we might not bring it out all the time. But it is the Hanged Man, which is, there's a part of me that I don't show the world, and that is me putting myself into a shift of perspective where all this decision making, all of this, choosing A or B, in an effort to make the best choices in my life and to really maybe get into this Queen of Pentacles vibe, I need to go be by myself. I need to put myself, like, maybe literally or figuratively upside down, so that I can receive illumination in my mind. I can have an epiphany come to me, like, oh my God, it's like I didn't think of that before. And it just dawned on me that this could be a solution to maybe all this arguing and bickering, or this could be a way for me to really center and ground and be a solid, sturdy force in life. And in order for me to achieve that state of enlightenment, I need to put myself upside down and see things from a different angle. I need a perspective shift, period. So what's moving into the near future for the sign of Capricorn? What is the near future going to hold for the sign of Capricorn? Capricorn, your near future is the Five of Wands. This is another controversial, challenge-based energy. Anytime we have a five, we're talking about change, we're talking about conflict. This one is in the realm of the fire suit. So it's your ego, it's your passion, it's your pride. And someone's challenging you. Someone's coming at you with the way that they feel. They're just as passionate as you are, but in a different way. And therefore it creates controversy. It creates a challenge. It creates prove your point. Prove it. Capricorn, if you're everything you say you are, prove it, because I bring this to the table. So it's in your face, it's challenge, it's a coworker trying to one up you. It's anyone literally trying to one up you because they see you in your Queen of Pentacles state, which is your natural state. Queen of Pentacles is earth-based energy. It's Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. And you in your natural state, I think someone who is like on the fiery side of life, they're automatically going to be challenged by that because they see life through the lens of fire, start, go, creative, passion, pursuit. And you are like the more grounded, the more steady, the more solid, the more secure is the winner. And this person, they don't agree. They're going to battle you. They're going to challenge you. No matter what you say, they're going to say probably the opposite. No matter how you feel, they're going to probably feel exactly the opposite. And so that really does show that there is a need for you to hangman yourself, to shift your perspective, to change your outlook, to maybe do you need to see something from a different lens? Do you need to open your mind and expand your vision? Just for something to contemplate. Let's look at your internal energy now. I mean, we have your current position. We have what challenges that. But what is your internal energy right now, Capricorn, in the month of February? Maybe it's going to be your steady state for the entire month. And it's the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is your internal energy. And that is, I want to play. I want to have fun. I want to experiment, expose myself to new things. I want to try, taste, see, touch, smell. All your senses want to be enlivened. And this is really interesting because this tends to be what is in tarot called the player card. This is like, I just want to go and have a good time. I don't want to be locked down. I don't want to be in a committed relationship. I just want to be a player. I want to romance and have intimate fun with whoever I want to have it with. I don't want to be committed. I don't want to lock myself down. I don't want to hold myself back from experiences that I want to have. The Knight of Wands is, they're here for a good time, not a long time. And this is in relation to anything. It does not have to be just like sexy time. This can also be about in work. In work, you just want to show up. You want to have the meetings, go to lunch, you just want to have the fun. You don't want to put your nose to the grindstone and work yourself to death. You just want to do fun things. You want to with your family. You don't want to argue, bicker, 5 of Swords. You don't want a 5 of Wands. You just want to have fun. That's your internal drive, is Knight of Wands. This is what's really driving you in February. And what is the external energy? This is outside of you. This is the driving force of your external world. It can be your coworkers. It can be your bosses, your loved ones, your lover, your family. It's energy from outside of you that really affects you. And it's the Magician. This is outside of you. There is somebody who is a manifester, somebody who is powerful, someone who is engaged in magical practices, somebody who believes in the power of positivity, somebody who believes that they have all the tools necessary to them. They know how to create their own reality. They are, in essence, self-sufficient. They don't need other people because they're good. It's number one. They're good on their own as numero uno. This Magician, like I said, the thing that keeps coming to me is the person or the situation that's outside of you that affects you, they really believe with all their heart that they're good on their own. They don't need anybody or anything meddling in their affairs. They're good. So maybe that explains why your internal energy is, then I'm just going to go have fun. I'm going to go out and just have a good time, because the person that maybe you've got your sights set on, they believe that they're all right. They have all the tools available to them. As the magician, they have cups, they've got their heart, they have their wands, they've got their passion, they have their pentacles, they've got money, and they have their swords. They've got their mind and their truth. And so all the tools that they need to live their life, they have. You either are a contribution to their life, but they don't, like, the sun doesn't rise and set on you. They have their own world and they have their own life. And so you having this Knight of Wands, you want passion, you want romance. I really think you want intimacy. So that's the beginning of our story there. What about your hopes and fears? What is Capricorn hoping, but simultaneously fearing at the same time? It's a hope, but it's also a fear. What is that for Capricorn? Another Knight. This is the Knight of Cups. This is romance. So not only do you want a good time, but you also want a real time. You want real love. You want passion, but also you want substance. You want something that means something. You're not, even though maybe in your mind you entertain being a gigolo, being a player, being like a, footloose and fancy free type in the bedroom, you're all heart. And when you say you love someone, you mean it. When you say you're with someone, you mean it. The Knight of Cups is they're on a mission towards love, and they're on a mission to be romantic, and they want to make sure that if you love red roses, you always have red roses. If you love diamonds and jewelry and perfume, you always have diamonds, jewelry, and perfume from a Capricorn. They're going to make sure that what your love language is, they speak it. And the Knight of Cups is sincere. They're genuinely, honestly, sincerely real about how they feel about things. But this is in the hopes and the fears. So you hope that you can be this, but you also fear that, because if you are this vulnerable, real, sincere, loving, heart-based individual, what do you run the risk of? Getting hurt, getting played, getting taken advantage of, getting stomped on. Your heart could be ripped out of your chest and thrown into the trash can, and that's a fear. It's a hope and a fear to be the Knight of Cups. It's a little easier to be this Knight of Wands because they're in, they're out so fast, nobody probably sees them coming. And so there's not a lot of consequence, especially for you. Other people might think differently because they don't want to get used either. But here in your hopes and fears, it's a really tender energy to have there. And so it makes a lot of sense. What about your final outcome, Capricorn? With all this being said, what is the final outcome for Capricorn's reading? That's just a little bit too many. Let's grab just one energy, please, for the final outcome for Capricorn. Capricorn, and your final outcome. The High Priestess. Another major arcana. This is in the way of intuition. This is a very water-based energy, so it's kind of aligned with the Knight of Cups in your hopes and fears as your final outcome. This has you setting into, I will know the truth and I will act on that. The High Priestess is silent. They watch, they observe, they are internal intuitive. They know the truth. Just by, they know. They know the truth. And this is encouraging you as your final outcome, Capricorn, to tune in to your internal senses, your spidey senses. You're going to observe situations. You're going to pay attention to people's actions, people's words, people in general. You're going to be watching. You're going to be observing and making your judgment call off of that. Your high priestess energy is going to come through because you're going to trust yourself. You're going to know the way that you need to go because you already do. You probably already do. You probably already, as February unfolds, you probably already have a very intuitive sense for what's going to unfold and how you're supposed to act. And that's what you're supposed to rely on as your final outcome, is trusting yourself and your knowledge and your ability to see situations for what they are and call them out, but in a very quiet, secure, steady way. I'm going to bring over this Lisa Parker Tarot Familiars deck. I'm going to do 3 cards as kind of a confirmation layer on top of this. This is a very interesting read. If you are in alignment with this, I'd love to hear. If you want to leave me a comment, that's awesome. I'm Spicy Sunflower Tarot. I'm on TikTok and I'm on YouTube. And any likes, follows, shares, subscribe, all of that is really helpful to the channel, and I'm grateful. For the sign of Capricorn, clarification, Knight of Swords, the Lovers, and the 10 of Swords. So there is a choice that needs to be made. There is a divine soulmate union on the line, and there is a choice that needs to be made, the Lovers. The 10 of Swords is speaking to mental, the way we think about things, and it's speaking to the end of a painful thought process. There's been a lot of thought, and the 10 means it's the end. There's the end of a painful thought process, and that can mean that something is officially over and a new start is going to present itself for us, or in a relationship, it's an end to a painful thought process that's going to stop. It's going to reach its conclusion. There's going to be a conversation, the Knight of Swords. There is going to be communication between you and the one you love. And there's going to be a determination. There's going to be a final outcome. The 10 of Swords is the conclusion. There's going to be a conclusion one way or another. Capricorn, this is your reading. Thank you again for being here. Just asking again for a like, follow, subscribe, share, comment, TikTok, YouTube. It was a pleasure to do your reading for you. Thank you, Capricorn. Be blessed. Be well. Namaste.